Yo, what's good, you guys? It's your boy B Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Salute the entire LDBC, the greater basketball community, and boy, I'm just in shock right now. Just a few minutes ago, breaking news coming out of California today. Kobe Bryant tragically died uh, this morning from a helicopter accident out in Calabasas, California. Um, he was just returning back from Philadelphia watching LeBron James surpass Kobe third place on the all-time scoring list, and unfortunately, the helicopter was on fire, and um and it crashed into the mountains of Calabasas, California, and there were about five people in the helicopter when the crash took place, and unfortunately, there were no survivors, and unfortunately, one of them is the 18-time All Star. I mean, I'm just in shock right now. I really am, and I grew up with Kobe. Let me be honest with you. I grew up with Kobe. Because he was one of those guys that you revered to, and he was a guy that everybody looked up to as a kid, especially when you were playing basketball. You know, and the fact that this had to happen today on on a Sunday like this, I mean, it's just unbelievable, bro. I cannot help. My heart is really hurting right now, man, because let me tell you a little memory about Kobe for me. My first memory of Kobe Bryant was back in the 1998 All Star Game in New York City, and he was starting his first ever All Star game, and this was the time when Michael Jordan was going to retire again for a second time before he came back in 2001 with Washington. And when he stepped into the floor at Madison Square Garden, it was an electric field that you saw in that arena. I mean, the way that he moved, his swagger, his dunking ability, all of his moves. I mean, Michael Jordan saw right away how extremely talented this man is, and the fact that he was able to take him in under his wing and show him the ropes and created a relationship with Kobe to this day. I mean, it speaks volumes to how much people revered to Kobe. And the fact that you know, this guy, took the NBA by the throat and dominated the league really speaks volumes of how much he influenced the NBA. And you know what the bigger thing is? The man played 20 seasons for the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, this guy grew up, but this guy played 20 seasons for one team. He never ever even had the thought of moving. Now we do understand that he had thoughts about moving to Chicago, after the 03-04 season. But this guy stuck it out. He stuck it out through all the rough times. Okay, remember in his rookie year, he was inserted into the game against the Utah Jazz, went through all the air balls, and people were just laughing at him in the Delta Center. But he grew up and became better out of it, and won and helped lead Shaq to three championships. All right, this guy was revered around the world. People revered to Kobe more than any other player I've ever seen, and he was at the same level of a Michael Jordan. And Michael even said himself in his interview when he was 50 years old, he was a guy that gravitated the same spirit, the same mentality into the game. And the fact that this guy was a guy that people looked up to and people respected his abilities and respected how he played the game. I mean, nobody could ever disrespect him, man. I mean, my heart. I mean, I'm just speechless right now. I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, I never had the chance to meet Kobe Bryant personally. I wish I would, but if I had to say one word, I would say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for the game of basketball. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for being the example for all generations of NBA players, even today, that looked up to this guy. I mean, my heart is just hurting. I don't know what to say. I was gonna go on live and talk about how Kobe Bryant and LeBron James stack up to each other in terms of their legacies, but we can't do it now. We can't because this news is going to be the most talked about news of the entire day. I mean, we've had this month alone has been terrible for the league. We lost the former commissioner of the NBA, David Stern, to, to basically to a brain hemorrhage. Okay, and now this comes out that we lose one of the greatest players in the history of the game, Kobe Bryant. You understand me? And this was only about a few years after he retired and dropped 60 points. I mean, this is a very, very sad day for everybody in the NBA, for all of sports for that matter, because he influenced so many people in sports. I see everybody in the chat, showing their respects though, man. Just keep showing your respects to Kobe, man. I mean, it's just a very, very sad day. I know, I know, I know so many people that love this guy. I just wonder how Shaq feels. I wonder what how Michael feels. Magic Johnson, people that have been around Kobe for those 20 for his 20-year career. I mean, Shaq and Kobe to this day were perhaps the greatest 1-2 combination in NBA history. And if they didn't let their egos get in the way, trust me when I tell you, they would have at least won at least 5 or 6. You couldn't do nothing about it. The way they dominated their opponents, I mean, there's nothing you could have done to stop them. Okay, and the fact that I grew up with this guy, I grew up watching him from his rookie year up until his retirement, speaks volumes of how dominant this guy is. And the most unforgettable performance of his entire career is when he dropped 81 points against the Toronto Raptors in the 06 season. The guy literally put the Lakers on his back and literally dominated the game through his dominant basketball ability, but also through his intelligent basketball mind. People don't understand how revered this guy is. You understand? I just don't know what to say, man. It's a very, very sad day in the world of basketball. I'll be right back. I'll just be back 1 second. Just 1 second. So yeah, it's a very, very sad day though, guys. I mean, now the news is broken out about Kobe's death. I mean, it's a sad day though, man. So, RIP to one of the greatest players in the game. I have his jersey in my closet. You know what I mean? To tribute to what the great player he's been. I have both Jordan and Kobe's jerseys in my room. So for the rest of the day, no, there'll be no more live streams, but it'll be just be videos showing RIP and major respect to one of the greatest players in sports history from any other sport. You understand? So thank you, Kobe. Thank you for everything you've done for this sport. I admired your work ethic, your passion, your intensity, and everything that you brought to the sport. Okay, your influence on this sport will never ever be duplicated again. And for all the next generation of basketball players, we're going to be talking about Kobe Bryant until the day we die. His legacy will never ever be touched, and it will never ever be duplicated, and it will stand for the test of times as one of the all-time greatest players in basketball history. So make sure to hit the like button too, guys. No, his daughters. Okay, let me clear up one thing. His daughters were not in the plane. Were not in the helicopter. There were 5 different people there, but his wife and his daughters were not were not in the helicopter when the crash took place. So I want to make sure to let you guys know about that. But yeah, RIP to one of the greatest players in the game. And for the rest of the time, though, guys, make sure that we support all of our channels, though, man, and pay homage to one of the greatest players that ever stepped foot on a basketball court. And as Kobe would say, Black Mamba out. So Black Mamba out to everybody in the chat and the LDBC. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.